Hi, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Our devotion for today, November 3rd, 2021, is from the Gospel of Matthew, the 12th chapter, verses 9 through 14. Verse 9 and 10. He went on from there and entered their synagogue. And a man was there with a withered hand, and they asked him, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath?" So that they might accuse him. It is the Sabbath. And Jesus' disciples have already plucked grain in the fields of Capernaum to eat, which was prohibited on the Sabbath. The Pharisees are offended by this and get no satisfaction from Jesus when they confront him about it. They follow Jesus into the synagogue in Capernaum and seek to trip him up. They see a man with a withered hand there. Now, you have to realize they must have known this man. And they asked Jesus, in the hopes of getting him to do something wrong, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath?" Now imagine if you were sick on the Sabbath and your faith prohibited you from receiving medicine or help from a doctor because it was against the law to receive that help on the Sabbath, to be healed. I mean, can you imagine? Where is the compassion then in that faith? How do you respond to the question, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? Verses 11 through 13. He, that is Jesus, said to them, "Which of you who has a sheep, if it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will not take hold of it and lift it out? Of how much more value is a man than a sheep? So it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath." Then he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand," and the man stretched out his hand, and it was restored, healthy like the other. Jesus is appalled at their lack of compassion towards this man's possible healing. He is appalled because he knows that if they had a sheep fall into a pit, even if it was on the Sabbath, they'd go and get it out. Why not a man? Isn't a man worth more? And that's exactly what he asks the Pharisees. Well, then he declares in the presence of the Pharisees and everyone else in the synagogue that it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. Of course, Jesus is equating healing with doing good. As a result, then he turns to the man and tells him to stretch out his hand, and the man stretches out his hand, and when he does so, he's healed. The Pharisees become angry again at Jesus for healing this man on the Sabbath. Although he had asked them, which one of them wouldn't have pulled out a sheep, and how Scripture does say, that we are to, the Lord prefers mercy rather than sacrifice. He points out their hypocrisy, and they can't stand that as well. It's too great for them to see their own hypocrisy in the face of what they're trying to do to trap Jesus. So the Pharisees go out in verse 14 and conspire against him, how to destroy him, Matthew tells us. Yeah, they're out to destroy Jesus for healing a man on the Sabbath, for making him whole, for giving him the use of his withered hand again, because it's no longer withered. And they're ready to kill him over that. Imagine how messed up that is. Imagine how turned upside down the law has become because of sinful man. How do you respond when hypocrisy is pointed out to you? When, your own hypocrisy? Do you seek to get even with the person who points it out? Or do you learn from it? Do you reconsider? Think once more about what it is your hypocrisy is about. Are you any different than the Pharisees who are plotting to kill Jesus because they can't stand that he pointed out their hypocrisy and they can't stand that he showed compassion to somebody on the Sabbath. Go in peace. Serve the Lord.